Hey guys, my name is Kyle and welcome to Confined Space Living. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about results and body composition. Now, a lot of the time when someone starts a diet or an exercise program, they're concerned about their weight and they want to lose weight. Now, there's not anything wrong with that idea per se, but weight in and of itself is not the health indicator that people seem to think it is. People are being told it is. For years, medical professionals have been hounding us using this thing called the body mass index, or BMI. It takes your height and weight and compares it to what they have scientifically determined to be the ideal weight for someone your height, and that's where they come up with that number. Unfortunately, BMI is not accurate for all that many people because it doesn't take very much in the way of extra muscle mass or extra bone density or extra organ size to skew BMI and make it inaccurate. Far more important than weight and BMI is body composition. That's going to be your body fat percentage versus your fat-free mass percentage. That's going to be how much of your body weight is coming from fat and how much is coming from muscle mass, bone density, organs, things that you need to have. And it's far more important to focus on changing your body composition and developing a healthy body composition than it is to achieve a specific number on your scales readout. It really is. When you start a diet and you start losing weight, is that weight fat or is it muscle mass? A lot of times it's a mix of the two. But when you're losing muscle mass, you're also slowing down your body's resting metabolic rate. And since our resting metabolic rate, or RMR, is where we burn about 75% of our calories, you don't want to slow down your body's RMR, which means you don't want to lose muscle mass. So rather than focusing strictly on your weight, you want to look at your body composition. Now, I've actually been working on carnivore for over a year, but when I started, I wasn't doing it very well. I did a lot of cheating. Every other time I stopped to get fuel for my truck, I was buying junk food and just pigging out on all kinds of garbage that wasn't good for me. So my initial results on the carnivore diet were less than impressive. Luckily, about 5 months ago now, I changed jobs and I went from being a local driver to driving over the road. And driving over the road and having to feed myself rather than being able to go home every night and have a meal prepared by my spouse, I was able to make changes. I was able to wean myself off of the junk food, and now I'm starting to see some better results. So I want to get into talking about that. Now, I got started I've been reading about the carnivore diet for quite some time. I actually got a book written by Dr. Dave Champion a few years ago, and when I read that after he'd spent some time doing a ketogenic diet, he switched to carnivore and went full carnivore, I stopped researching ketogenic diet and went straight to researching the carnivore diet. So I've been researching it for a while and have been working on living it for a bit over a year now. What got me to make the jump from research to actually living the diet was a year ago when I needed to renew my DOT medical card. I had trouble getting it renewed because of my weight. The doctors kept wanting me to go get tested for sleep apnea because I was too fat. I'm not going to go on a rant about sleep apnea and obesity and how they're not actually connected, because again, some research says yes, some research says no, and that's not the point of this channel or this video. I'm just bringing that up because that was my impetus to get started on truly trying to change my way of eating, trying to change my lifestyle so that I could get into better condition. I actually went through 2 3-month medical cards before I found a doctor who was willing to overlook the obesity and give me a proper 2-year medical card. I'm not going to mention who he was because I don't want him to get in trouble, because I don't believe in the obesity sleep apnea nonsense, and I believe that any doctor who can see nonsense and do what's right instead of do what's written in some arbitrary law by some people who don't know what they're talking about 3/4 of the time, should be protected and not exposed to danger. So anyway, after that doctor gave me my 2-year medical card so that I could have my 2 years to work on losing weight, work on getting in better shape, the first thing I did, other than starting on the diet, was get a fitness tracker. In fact, I didn't want to spend a lot of money. I didn't feel the need for a full-fledged smartwatch. I just wanted a fitness tracker, something to track my activity, my sleep, that sort of thing. And so I started with the Halo View by Amazon. And I thought it was a great little watch for the price. It kept track of your activities. Unfortunately, like most low-end fitness trackers, it tracked the motion of my arm like I was walking, so all of the movement of my arm in handling the steering wheel of the truck or operating the crank handle on a trailer's landing gear, that sort of stuff, it counted as steps. So it wasn't accurate in that regard. It was, however, accurate in regards of pulse, sleep, blood oxygen, body temperature, that all of the different things that it measured other than physical activity. It was pretty accurate. But what was even better than the fitness tracker, the watch itself, was the app that came with it, the Amazon Halo View app. And the best part of the app, in my opinion, was the body scanner feature. With the body scanner feature, you set up your phone on a counter or someplace like that at approximately knee to waist height, and wearing preferably close-fitting shorts and nothing else, or maybe a close-fitting top for some people. The app would take pictures of you from all 4 sides, and then it would calculate, based on what you tell it about your height and weight and the pictures it takes, it would calculate your body fat percentage, your fat-free mass index, your waist-to-hip ratio, and that sort of thing. Unfortunately, a couple months ago, I got a notification from Amazon stating that as of August 1st of this year, 2023, the of fitness trackers and the associated app will no longer be supported. Now, the messages state specifically they're not going to work anymore. I hope that's not true. I hope they're simply not going to be supported anymore, because even though I've already replaced the watch with a new fitness tracker, and this one's the Amazfit, also an Amazon product, its app doesn't have the body scanner like the Halo app does. And I've yet to find a truly satisfactory replacement for the body scanner. The best I've found so far is the Me 360 app. It comes pretty close to what the Halo app does, but I'm still not entirely satisfied with it. There's actually an article about a study done showing exactly just how accurate the Halo body composition scanning feature is. I'm going to give you a link to that article in the description to this video. But suffice it to say, I'm probably going to be able to get one more use out of the body scanner feature before everything gets shut down on August 1st. Hopefully, it will keep working after August 1st. It just won't be getting supported and updated anymore. But anyway, the reason I'm talking about that is because I have some data here from using the app that I want to talk to you about to show my progression with this diet and my exercise routine. So we're going to start out here with the very first scan I did right after I got my Halo View fitness tracking watch on July 12th of 2022. I had a BMI of 48.8, a weight of 340 pounds. My waist to hip ratio was 1.05, so my waist is slightly bigger around than my hips. For men, well, for anybody that's not good. For men, your waist should be close to the same size as your hips, preferably a little bit smaller than your hips. For women, your waist should definitely be smaller than your hips. I had a body fat percentage of 43.5 and a fat-free mass index of 27.5. So at that stage, I was definitely heavily obese. My next scan, August 2nd, 2022, BMI of 48.2, weight of 336 pounds, waist to hip of 1.08, body fat of 42.9, and a fat-free mass index of 27.5. So BMI and weight came down just a little bit, but my waist to hip ratio went off, and even though my body fat percentage came down, the fat-free mass index stayed exactly the same. Now, what this is telling us is that I lost some fat, but I also lost some muscle mass. And so that's why BMI and weight came down, but waist to hip ratio went the wrong direction. Now we come to the next scan, which was in September 21st of 2022. BMI of 48.5, a weight of 338 pounds, waist to hip of 1.05, body fat percentage of 44.6%, and a fat-free mass index of 26.9. So here again, the BMI went back up a little bit, weight went back up a little bit, waist to hip came down, but body fat percentage went up significantly. It went up to even higher than it was when I started in July, and the fat-free mass index dropped. So that means I gained body fat and still lost muscle mass. This is on the diet alone, and during this period I was still cheating a lot. So the diet wasn't doing me that much good because I wasn't being very good at sticking to it. And we can see that again by the lack of scans between September 21st of 2022 and January 25th of 2023. Now, January 25th of 2023 is right before I left home to go back over the road with my new company. So this, I think, will make a good baseline for where I'm at now. January 25th, 2023, we have a BMI of 47.4, a weight of 330 pounds, waist to hip of 0.98, body fat of 44.9%, and a fat-free mass index of 26.1. So, between July 12th of 2022 and January 25th of 2023, I lost 10 pounds. So it took, in 6 months, I only lost 10 pounds. My BMI is down by only 1.4 from what it was in July. Now my waist to hip has improved, but again, my body fat percentage has gone up again from the September scan, and my fat-free mass index has gone down, which means there again, I'm losing muscle mass instead of fat, or as well as fat. That's not what we want to do. We want to gain muscle mass and get rid of fat. So now we skip a couple of months worth of scans because again, I'm still finding my way, getting used to the diet developing. So my next scan comes from April 12th of 2023. Had a BMI of 45.8, a weight of 319 pounds, waist to hip ratio of 1.02, a body fat percentage of 43.7, and a fat-free mass index of 25.8. So here we see the weight has come down fairly significantly in a short period of time. But the waist to hip change tells me, the body fat percentage tells me, and the fat-free mass index tells me that I'm still losing muscle mass as well as the fat. Now we get to May 22nd of 2023. BMI is down to 44.3. Weight is down to 309 pounds. Waist to hip is 1.03. Body fat percentage is 43% even. And fat-free mass index is 25.3. So here again, that's 10 pounds of weight lost in only a single month. Waist to hip ratio has gone up slightly. Body fat percentage has come down. And the fat-free mass index continues to fall, but it's not falling as rapidly as it seemed to in the previous scans. And that's because in May, I started exercising on a regular basis, and so now I'm starting to regain some of the muscle mass that the diet alone has been causing me to lose. From there we get to June 25th of 2023, and this is my most recent scan. Body mass index of 44.6, weight of 311 pounds, waist to hip of 1.03, body fat percentage of 42% even, and a fat-free mass index of 25.9. So, BMI and weight have both gone back up slightly. Waist to hip ratio has remained the same, but body fat percentage has dropped by an entire percentage point, and the fat-free mass index is starting to go back up. So what that tells us is that the diet is continuing to allow me to lose weight, and the exercise routine is letting me start regaining the muscle mass that I've been losing on diet alone. So hopefully later this month, when I get home time and can get on the scale and then take another body scan, we'll see things skew even further in the positive direction. This also makes a good illustration of the point I was talking about at the beginning of this video. Body weight in and of itself is not the health indicator that we want to focus on. Body composition is. I wouldn't care if I actually got to over 400 pounds if it was 400 pounds of lean muscle mass. Obviously, that's not going to be happening with the diet and exercise routine I can pull off here in the cab of my truck, but I'm throwing it out as an example. You want good bone density, you want good muscle mass, you want healthy organs, and you want a low body fat percentage. Now, if all of that adds up to giving you the body weight that you want, fabulous. But if you've met those criteria and you're still not at a specific weight, you don't get too upset about it, because weight in and of itself is not that important. Alright. I know I've been off on a little bit of a hiatus, and this is my first video in a while, but I've got a lot of stuff going on besides just my job and making these videos and trying to improve my health. But I will try and do a better job of producing some more videos. I've got a few more videos that are planned, should be coming out within the next few days to a week. Thank you for joining me. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, like, and share, and we'll see you guys next time on Confined Space Living.